Alright, so I changed bulbs. There's like a fluorescent bulb. This is just one of the lights that I use out in my office, or take on the road if doing an interview or something for lighting. But wanted to change the bulbs. There's a fluorescent one in here before. Put it in an LED, and then of course it's not working. And switch on, off, all that kind of stuff. So just gonna go through and do some basic troubleshooting here. It is plugged in right now. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this light bulb. By the way, light bulbs. One of the things that is important to know is there's this contact here, and then there's this contact here, and you see there's an insulator between those. The one here is the positive, and then the outside one is the ground or the negative. And that's pretty much universal for light bulbs and stuff like that. Pretty straightforward. So what I want to do is I want to test this socket here. Going to go ahead and use this, and I'll turn the light on. Hopefully it helps you see it. I don't have a stand, or do I have a stand? Let's see. Let's do that. Okay. I don't know. Probably here. Let's see what we got here. Let's do something like that, and I'll see if you can see that. But anyway, so that's lit up. All right, I'm on. I'm going to go to VAC, volts AC, push the light just to help you see that. And then, again, the positive is this part here in the center. So that's going to be in the center in the socket, and then the outside is going to be the ground. And the power, I believe, is on, but we're going to see. So red in the center and black on the outside, nothing. So it is not currently on. So now I'm going to test this switch out. I'm going to flip the switch. There's a switch on the back here. I'm going to flip it. I'm not going to put my hands anywhere near the electrical source. I'm just going to use this. And still nothing. Interesting. Do we have a faulty switch? Is it being a butthead? Let's see. I'm going to wiggle some wires here. Make sure I'm plugged in. Still nothing. Okay. Alright. You got to make sure you don't touch both things at the same time. Let's see if I can zoom you in here. Yep. And give you a better view of what I'm doing. Okay. So again, I'm going to just go center with this. And touch the outside. Well, that is weird. Something's definitely going on there. Okay. Flip that to the other way. Again, we'll see. Center. Outside. Interesting. So I'm going to go down to the... Okay. So if I go center, there's a little tab in there. Hopefully you can see that. And outside, I have nothing. But down inside here, down inside here, you can see there's two screws, and there's negatives on this side, positives on that side. So when I go back to the screw, you'll see it works. So that's an interesting problem to have. So I'm going to go to the screw. So it works. But the point that engages the light bulb, and the ground out here, which engages the light bulb, no bueno. So there's a disconnect here somewhere. So you can't really see it, but I'm kind of going up the ground. It's good, it's good, it's good. Let's see if I can get you in here. So it's good as I go up. Good here. When I go to the ring itself, nothing. So what that means is the ring's not carrying something. There's a disconnect in there. They're not touching. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug this, see if I can fix that. But that's why this isn't working. And that's also why you want to work your way back all the way to the simplest point, or the point of origin for the power. Because I really thought this was broken. And I'm doing this in real time, by the way. This is not, I didn't look at this beforehand. So I'm troubleshooting this in real time. So I went back to where it would come in, which is the screws, because the screws secure these fixtures, or these pieces I should say, to the current coming in. That's what screws that down to allow it to work. So going back to that, switch was working. I thought the switch was bad. And then I just worked my way up and discovered that this ring is actually the issue. So I'm going to unplug it. And I always like making sure that I can see where it's unplugged. And also, you know, just making sure. There are a couple wires here that I have, so I'm just gonna, it takes you like 2 more seconds to make sure that there is no power, and I do have the right cord because I don't have the entire cable up here. So always, always, always make sure. And by the way, this is not a cheapo, you know, meter by any stretch, but the reason I'm showing you with this one is because I've given away some of the cheap ones that I had to people that didn't have meters, and I thought that was bad. So anyway, but I do need to buy a couple more cheap ones. So they're like 10, 15 bucks to get one. This same thing can happen with that. You do not need anything fancy. I just happened to, this is the only one I have available right now, and it might be easier to see on the video, but absolutely you do not need anything like that. All right. So this is molded. I don't want to unscrew that. I can unscrew this and get into all that craziness, but here's what I think is going on. And let me get a light. All right, so get a light in here. So you see that tab I'm kind of pointing to. Let's do it this way. You see this right here. That's actually nowhere close to this ring. So the ring, that's interesting as I look at this. I don't know why that ring's metal, because it's not even, again, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see, it's so hard to show it in the camera. Those aren't touching. So there's a tab that goes, it looks like it just needs to be bent out maybe to help connect with this part of the bulb. Okay, that's surprising. I don't know why this is metal. Maybe that's metal to help connect the plastic and give it some strength, but I really thought that metal right there, and by the way, I know there's no power, so, but I really thought that metal was carrying, because usually the outside of a socket connects with this part of the bulb, and that's what makes it work, but this one doesn't seem to be that way because there's too much space there, so it's not connected. So that's why I never got power here, which is another reason that you dig a little deeper and look at it. Alright, so what that means is I'm pretty sure I just need to tweak that, pull that one out a little bit this way, a little bit out, and just so it contacts the bulb itself. And that should be it. It's just not contacting it. So I'm just going to pry that a little bit over. Gotta find something that could fit in there. And let's see. Alright, so I have this little thing, and then can I get to it from this side? That'd be kind of cool. No. Alright, so I'm just going to go in here, and again, because I know I'm touching some different things here, absolutely always unplug. Unplug, no power, double check, all that stuff. Can never be too safe. So I just bent that out a little bit. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and screw the ball back in, plug it in, and weird. Still nothing. So it's definitely not touching the outside. It's just so weird. Why would you not be? It's just gotta be pried out more, I think. Okay, gonna go ahead and unplug this. Also don't want to break this stuff because it does. Alright, that is really, let's see. Really, that doesn't touch it. I don't know. Yeah, see, it's to the point where I could feel it gripping. Okay, this doesn't work. I'm at a loss. A complete and utter loss. Consider me at a loss. Why didn't that work? Oh, you know why it didn't work? Because there were two problems here. I don't know if the positive is actually getting all the way down to the base either. Huh. Let's see. Because I took out another one, and I think it had a deeper, it has a deeper one. It's not a typical bulb. I'm just trying to use a typical bulb in here. So if you look here, it's going to bottom out there, right at that line. And that line, as I look inside, it's not quite far enough in. So I'm going to bend that other tab up, which is the positive tab. Let me unplug this first. Of course, unplugged. Okay. So, how am I going to do this? Okay, so just bent that up a bit. And it could be that I just need a deeper socket. Or a deeper bulb. But the interesting thing is, I have another one of these, and I was able to screw the bulb in without a problem. And it just worked. So it's the same thing. But that doesn't always matter. So always, same troubleshooting process works for all of this. Hey! Let there be light. So something that I thought had a bad switch, then I thought was broken for the ground on the outside was really not. It has the metal, and I just realized why the metal's on the outside. Excuse me. Just realized why the metal's on the outside. It's because you're screwing into it. That's why this part's metal. Otherwise, if it was plastic, it could break and all that kind of stuff. So that's just to secure the bulb. And the contacts are those other two things in there. And they were just... So the contacts are those two things in there. That ring is just so you can have something secure to screw the bulb in, which makes sense. Now that I opened it up and looked at it, I would have assumed way too many things. Almost did, actually. So ultimately, bending and prying the two contacts for positive and negative allowed me to use this bulb and not throw something away that I thought was bad. Thanks for watching.